can ban guns and anything, but you can't ban evil. And I know people think of Canada as some kind of northern utopia, but it's really not. You guys do deal with violence and violent behavior and even terroristic elements in Canada. It's not a utopia. We love Canada, Andrew, but let's face it, it's not a utopia.
No, no, certainly not. And I think what's interesting here is that I am a gun-owning Canadian, and to do that in Canada, you have to go through a licensing process. You have to be clear of mental illness issues, clear of criminal records, and I think most Canadians are okay with that system to some extent. But it's the false sense of security that I think the system gives people that is really concerning. People think that if you need a license, then only licensed people get a hold of guns. And what we've seen in numerous cases, and a shooting outside of Toronto earlier today, I think reiterates this, is that it is in a lot of cases, in most cases, unregistered, restricted guns that are used in the commission of crimes. And I want to give some numbers here. Canada has 26% of its population with guns in their home. And the other side of that is that we, your country and my country, share the longest unprotected border in the world. And the U.S. has the highest rate of gun ownership anywhere in the world, if I'm not mistaken. So why is it that this country that has so many guns and shares an unprotected border with a country that loves gun control has not managed to see any of that move into Canada? And I think this is what people fail to realize, is that it's not a simple question of what government has banned or what government has tried to do. There are a lot of other factors at play here. And I think the UN report a few years ago even said that Canada has the third highest rate of gun ownership in the developed world, behind the US and behind Norway. Yet all of a sudden, people are still trying to point to the U.S. as being this sort of wild, wild west free-for-all zone because of all the guns there. And when you actually look at crime rates, there isn't much of a difference, especially when you take out the method that someone uses to commit a crime. We still have bank robberies, but they happen with knives, they happen with fake guns, they happen with illegal guns. In Canada, we just don't have the ability to protect ourselves like Americans do.
We're talking about a heart issue, really, not a weapon issue or a tool issue. And this is the argument that I have a lot with people. You can't, the only people that are hurt by gun laws and restrictive gun laws are law-abiding citizens, because they're going to abide by the law. But people, by their very nature, who are willing to take a weapon and murder other people are lawbreakers. So there is that. Andrew, I'm curious about Canada. Canada doesn't have anything like a Second Amendment, do they?
No, we don't. I mean, gun ownership is ingrained in our laws, the right to own guns, but not in our Constitution. And I think that's a very important distinction. So there's been a constant battle between the police force here, like the national police force, the government, and the courts. They've all been in disagreement on a lot of issues on what Canadians can do as far as guns are concerned. Now, it's important to note that we have a conservative government right now that has very, very much been supportive of Canadians' right to bear arms. But what's interesting is that up until this government, we had for quite a while a long gun registry, which meant that law-abiding citizens needed to register and have connected to their license any rifle they had. If it was for hunting, if it was for protecting the farm, you had to actually register that. And this was a proposal that cost billions of dollars, did nothing other than turn law-abiding gun owners who let paperwork lapse be turned into criminals overnight, had not a single link to any decrease in crime, yet the left in Canada called the removal of it this huge injustice against the safety of individuals, because the left doesn't like actual gun control because it works. The left like gun control because it gives the illusion of security, and this is what Canada has. Nothing but window dressing on the actual reality as far as firearms are concerned.